Hello traders, this is Dr. Zain Agha from zwinner.com. Here are the news that you need to trade for this week, starting on Tuesday, the 13th of June, and ending on Friday, the 16th of June, 2023. Today is Monday, we had no news at all. Now, here are the news that is for the rest of the week. It's quite a few news this week, so I hope you're going to make good money. So there are opportunities to make some good money. Okay, so on Tuesday the 13th of June at 1:30 p.m. we have the CPI coming out of USA, and it's expected to come out at 0.2% as against 0.4% previous. And also that was the monthly, and the CPI yearly is expected to come out at 4.1% as against 4.9%. This shows that the US dollar is going to weaken. So if the CPI, the yearly one, comes out less than 4%, in that case you need to sell the US dollar. If it comes out more than 5%, then you need to buy the US dollar. And don't worry about the monthly CPI because you are following the yearly one. Okay. Then you also have the core CPI monthly at 4%, but it's all right, just follow the yearly CPI and see how it's like. If it is more than 5%, then buy US dollar. If it's less than 4%, sell US dollar. Then on Wednesday, the 14th of June at 7 a.m. London time, we have the GDP, a monthly GDP coming out of United Kingdom, and expected much better than the previous one. It's expected to come out at 0.2% as against minus 0.3% previous. So it seems that the British pound is going to gain strength. So if it comes out as 0.3% or more, then you need to buy the British pound. And if it comes out at minus 0.1 or less, then you need to sell the British pound. Then at 1:30 p.m. on the same day, Wednesday the 14th, we have the core PPI coming out of USA, and it's the monthly one, expected to be the same like previous at 0.2%, and the previous was the same. So if it goes to 0.3% or more, then you need to buy the US dollar, and if it comes out less than 0.1%, then you need to sell the US dollar. And then again you have the monthly PPI, but follow the core PPI, forget the other one. At 7 p.m. is a very important news coming out from the USA FOMC economic projections. Now if you listen to the Bloomberg radio, and if the speech is hawkish, then you need to buy the US dollar. If the speech is dovish, then you need to sell the US dollar. And then at the same time, you have the interest rate coming out of USA at 7 p.m. It's expected to remain the same like present, 5.25%. And if it comes out at 5.5% or more, then you need to buy the US dollar. If it comes out at 5% or less, then you need to sell the US dollar. And then again at 7:30 p.m. you have the FOMC press conference. Again, you need to listen to the Bloomberg radio. And then at 11:45 p.m. on the same day, Wednesday the 14th, you have the GDP, a quarterly GDP coming out of New Zealand. And it's expected to be worse than previous. Previous one was minus 0.6%, and it's expected to be minus 0.1%. So as a matter of fact, it's expected better than the previous one. If the GDP comes out in a positive figure, then you need to buy the New Zealand dollar. If it comes out in a negative figure, then you need to sell the New Zealand dollar. Then on Thursday the 15th of June at 2:30 a.m. you have the employment change coming out of Australia. Now it is showing much better than previous. The previous one was minus 4.3%, minus 4.3k, and is expected to be much better, 17.1k. So if it comes out 18k or more, then you need to buy the Australian dollar. And if it comes out at minus figure, then you need to sell the Australian dollar. At the same time, keep an eye on the unemployment rate. Unemployment rate going to stay the same, is expected to be the same like last one, 3.7%. Now if the unemployment rate goes down 3.5% or less, then you need to buy the Australian dollar. If it goes to above 4%, then you need to sell the Australian dollar. Then we have the news coming out of China at 3 p.m. So don't worry about the Chinese news. And then on 1:30 p.m. from Europe, we have the main refinancing rate, and that is the 4% as against 3.75%. So I think it's better to leave this alone. And then you have the monetary policy statement coming out of Europe at 1:15 p.m. But again, listen to the Bloomberg radio. Then at 1:30 p.m. from USA, you have the core retail sales monthly figures coming out, and is 0.1% expected as against 0.4%. That means US dollar is going to weaken. Now if the figure comes out in the negative, if the data comes out in a negative figure, then you need to sell the US dollar. And if it comes out more than 1%, then you need to buy the US dollar. Okay. And then you have, at the same time, you have the retail sales monthly coming out, and unemployment claims. Now the unemployment claims is expected to be a bit less than previous. So it's expected to be 245,000 people applying for claiming the unemployment. So if it comes to, if the data comes out at 220,000 or less, in that case you need to buy the US dollar. It's going to get strengthened. And if it comes out more than 275k, then you need to sell the US dollar. And then on Friday, almost nothing to trade about, so this is all it is. These are just the news So I hope you will follow them and make some good money. And so we'll see you next week. Okay, take care. Bye bye.